Most people searching for a giant guard dog make the same mistake. They pick based on looks and find out 6 months later that they bought a lifestyle, not just a dog. The Boerboel and the Bullmastiff look similar on paper. Both massive, both protective, both capable of stopping an intruder with pure presence alone. But these two breeds are fundamentally different animals in terms of temperament, trainability, and who they're actually suited for. One of them was developed on South African farms to handle baboons, leopards, and armed intruders. The other was engineered by English gamekeepers specifically to track poachers at night, pin them down, and hold them without biting. Not similar jobs, not similar dogs. Stick around because the verdict at the end of this will save you from a very expensive, very overwhelming mistake. The Boerboel, pronounced Boerboel, is South African, descended from Dutch and German settler dogs that were crossed with indigenous African breeds over centuries. Their job was farm protection in one of the harshest environments on Earth, not livestock guarding like the Kangal, active human-directed protection of homesteads, property, and family against genuinely dangerous wildlife and human threats. The result is a dog with almost offensive levels of confidence. They don't bluff, they don't bark nervously, they assess, decide, and commit. That's the Boerboel. The Bullmastiff is a British creation, a deliberate cross between the Mastiff and the Bulldog, finalized in the 1800s by gamekeepers protecting English estates from poachers. The target ratio was 60% Mastiff, 40% Bulldog. The doll was a dog big enough to knock a grown man down, controlled enough not to maul him, and quiet enough to work at night without alerting the target. Silent, powerful, precise. Two dogs engineered for protection, completely different engineering. The Boerboel runs 150 to 200 pounds in males, blocky, muscular, thick-boned, with a massive head and a naturally assertive posture. Even standing still, they communicate dominance. Their movement is surprisingly agile for their size. These aren't slow, lumbering dogs. They're athletic in a way that's genuinely startling the first time you see one move quickly. The Bullmastiff sits slightly smaller, 110 to 130 pounds typically, but they're dense and low to the ground, built to sprint and tackle rather than intimidate from a distance. Their wrinkled, broad face and deep chest make them look heavier than they are. Brindle, fawn, or red coat. No fluff, no drama, just pure functional mass. Both will turn heads. Neither is a dog you walk past without noticing. Here's where the choice actually gets made. The Boerboel is deeply confident and owner-loyal to the point of intensity. With their family, including kids, they're affectionate, calm, even playful. They have a genuine softness with the people they love that surprises first-time observers. But with strangers, neutral at best, suspicious is the default. They're not aggressive without reason, but they don't extend warmth automatically either. You earn it or you don't get it. The biggest thing to understand about the Boerboel's temperament is dominance. These dogs will test their owner, not aggressively, strategically. They're always quietly calculating the power structure of their household. If they sense weakness or inconsistency in leadership, they self-promote. And a 180-pound dog that has decided it's actually in charge is not a situation you want to find yourself managing. The Bullmastiff is notably more easygoing. They're calmer in the home, less dominant in the hierarchy, and more forgiving of handler inconsistency. They're still alert and protective. That instinct is hardwired, but their baseline isn't suspicious, it's relaxed. Strangers get a measured look rather than immediate distrust. They're often described as gentle giants, and for once, that label isn't a lie. Perfect for someone who wants real protection capability without the constant leadership battle that comes with the Boerboel. The Boerboel needs an experienced handler, not because they're stupid, they're actually highly intelligent, but because intelligence in a dominant breed means they'll use their intelligence against you if you're not consistent. They respond to calm, structured authority. Harsh handling backfires. Passive handling also backfires. You have to be exactly the right kind of firm every day from puppyhood. Early socialization isn't optional, it's critical. A Boerboel that wasn't properly exposed to people, environments, and other animals before 16 weeks is significantly harder to manage as an adult.
This is a breed where the early months matter more than almost any other. The Bullmastiff is more forgiving. They're trainable with a moderately experienced owner, respond well to positive reinforcement, and don't demand the same constant leadership energy. They're still not a first-time owner dog. Their size alone requires someone who can handle them physically, but the gap between them and the Boerboel in terms of handling difficulty is real and significant. If you've owned large breeds before and want a serious, loyal protector that won't constantly challenge your authority, the Bullmastiff fits that gap cleanly. Boerboel. Health is a genuine concern. Hip and elbow dysplasia are common. Juvenile epilepsy appears in the breed more than most owners realize. Their lifespan runs 9 to 11 years, which is short. Vet bills for a dog this size add up fast. Everything from medications to procedures is dosed and priced by weight. They're also banned or restricted in several countries, including Denmark, France, and parts of the UAE. Know your local legislation before you fall in love with the breed. And the liability issue is real. A poorly socialized or mishandled Boerboel involved in an incident is not a minor problem. These dogs can cause catastrophic harm. That's not fear-mongering. That's the honest contract you sign when you own a breed of this caliber. The Bullmastiff drools, significant amounts of it, on everything you own forever. Beyond that, bloat, or GDV, is a serious health risk and can be fatal without immediate veterinary intervention. Their lifespan is similar, 8 to 10 years. They're prone to joint problems and can develop skin fold infections around their facial wrinkles if not cleaned regularly. They also have a low heat tolerance. Hot climate owners need to be careful about exercise timing and outdoor exposure. The Boerboel wins on raw capability, presence, and sheer protective power. There's a reason professional security operations and serious farm owners in South Africa still use them, but that power comes wrapped in a complexity that demands a specific kind of owner, experienced, consistent, and prepared for a lifelong leadership commitment. The Bullmastiff wins on balance, nearly as imposing, significantly more manageable, and genuinely compatible with family life without requiring expert-level handling skills every single day. My honest verdict, most people asking which giant wins should get the Bullmastiff, not because it's the lesser dog, but because it's the right dog for a wider range of real-life situations. The Boerboel is elite, and elite tools require elite operators. Which one fits your life? Drop it in the comments. And if you already own either of these, tell me what nobody warned you about. Those comments are always the most useful thing on this whole channel.